Welcome to 8.1 perimeter. So just to review, the definition of perimeter is to add all sides. Now I'm not going to do the perimeter of the basic shapes, which is obvious or straightforward. I'm going to be working on odd shapes and shapes that are given that are not in a traditional sense, meaning that you won't have shapes where all sides will be given measurements. So what we're going to do is using clues that were taught in geometry of congruence, so clues of congruence, see if that will help determine all the sides of a given shape or a given polygon. So in example 1, we have this what we call a parallelogram, meaning that two sides are parallel to each other and the other two sides are parallel to each other, and they form a four-sided polygon. So here, using what we learned in geometry, these two tick marks on this side will have the same measurement because they have two tick marks, because those two tick marks represent that these two sides are congruent, or also known as the same length. So if this side is 17 centimeters and this side is 17 centimeters, so I'm going to write 17 right here. This side has one tick mark and this side also has one tick mark, meaning that they are congruent to each other. So if this is 12 centimeters, then the other side is 12 centimeters. So I finished labeling all my sides and their measurements. Next, I'm going to continue labeling all the sides by saying that this right here is S1, S2, S3, and S4. Now, there's no specific way on labeling a side. The reason I am labeling my side is a way to organize my work. So that way I don't mix up my numbers, or I don't reuse or repeat the numbers I already used. Meaning that trying to eliminate doing extra work or unnecessary work, or make sure I'm using all the information I have without leaving any. So perimeter, or P, will equal to, since I have four sides of this parallelogram, it's going to be S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus S4. Now at the moment, I'm not going to worry about the units, I'm going to worry about the numbers. But I got to make sure that I remember it for my final answer. So S1 is 12, S2 is 17, S3 is also 12, and S4 is also 17. Now, you can add them one by one from left to right. So 12 plus 17, that's going to be 29. And then 29 plus 12, that's going to be 41. And 41 plus 17, that's going to be 58. So my perimeter is 58 centimeters. Don't forget your unit. 58 centimeters. So this is our final answer for this shape. In example 2, we have a picture of a rhombus where we have given a measurement for the top side, the bottom side, and one slanted side, including the height. To review, the height is the distance from the top to the bottom. Now, just like in the last example, this side has one tick mark, and this side also has one tick mark. So these two sides are congruent in length. So this, since this is 8 meters, this is also 8 meters. Now, the reason we're going over this example is, even though I label on my side, we also have an information about the height. So, to review, when you're finding perimeter, you're just adding the sides. So, if you look, the height is not actually a side of the polygon. So, we're not going to use the information of height. So, if you do see it, make sure to read the question carefully. If it asks you about area, you might have to use the height. But if you're using perimeter, if you're looking for perimeter, then you're only using the information from the sides. Again, perimeter to add all sides. So P for perimeter. Now before I do that, I'm going to label all my sides. So again, I'm just doing the sides, not the height. So S1, S2, S3, and S4. Again, the order does not matter as long as you label it correctly. So, I have S1, S2, S3, S4. That means S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus S4. Again, I'm just going to worry about the numbers at the end. Make sure to have my correct units. S1 is 8, S2 is 19, S3 is also 8, and S4 is 13. Alright, adding, starting with the left. So 8 plus 19, that's going to be 27. 27 plus 8, that's going to be 35. And then 35 plus 13, that's going to be 48. 48 meters. So the perimeter is 48 meters. Here's our final answer. Example 3, we have a picture of a triangle. If we look closely, we notice that all 3 sides, each of them has 1 tick mark. So again, the definition of congruence, that means that all these sides have the same measurement. So if one side is 9 yards, then this will be 9 yards. And then this one will be 9 yards. And we also have information for the height, which is 8 yards from the top of the triangle to the bottom. Now again, we're only doing perimeter, so we're just going to add the side. So, side 1, side 2, side 3. So my perimeter is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3. Side 1, 9, plus side 2, also 9, plus side 3, also 9. So, as you notice, I didn't use the 8 because it's just the height from the top to the bottom. In cases where we would use the height would be when you're finding the area of a triangle. So 9 plus 9, that's 18. And then 18 plus 9, that's 27. So 27 yards, that's going to be our final answer for the perimeter.